to the world. For help man on the rebuild of a country. Jiggy jiggy and march, march. But make we dance with it now. Come make we march, all Jamaicans. We are one big family. Time come for deliverance. So make we march in unity. Whether PNP or Labour rights, our God loves all of we. We are marching on to progress. Jam down and feel all of we. Everything Melissa broke down, we are gonna build back. We are gonna build back better than before. Every house we broke down, we are gonna build back. Cause our God have blessings in store. Time come to rebuild together. Cause Jamaica is our home. We are stepping out the darkness into the light. We're gonna build stronger roof and door.
Good morning, Liberates, and good morning to all other comebacks watching this channel. Welcome to another episode of Political Hard Talk. I am your host, none other than the greatest Laborite alive. Good morning, my people. Good morning. Now, today we are going to go to an AI video of the wranglings that caused here several factors. Don't tell me if me blurry, tell me if you not hear me. I just realized I live chip out a while ago and come back in. So don't tell me if me blurry, tell me if you not hear me, tell me if you not see me. There are several factors that cause here Jamaica to discontinue, and we're going to break that down this morning. Everybody a ball for cool down in Jamaica as well. Shanice down there in a 4 pair of socks, very nasty. Wrap up in a 3 sheet and 1 blanket. Very nasty, my people. I don't know whenever Jamaica can be cool. I love bleaky weather in Jamaica because it takes away the heat. So, enjoy the bleaky weather. See? Let's roll out the morning shout outs and then let's get into it, my people. Big up yourself, Father Dark Night. Rohan, big up yourself. Melody, good morning. June, big up yourself. Larry, big up yourself. Dunk, big up. Opal, big up yourself. Beverly Clark, big up. Mark Nemad, big up yourself. Ryan, big up yourself. Jakey, big up yourself. Larry, big up yourself. Ryan, big up yourself. Good morning. Sylvan, big up yourself as well. Me just see you chip in. Remember, as I jump in at the live, guys, 3 dots in the right hand corner of the screen. Hit the thumbs up button, and do subscribe if you're not yet a subscriber. I'm going to start with a clip from the Prime Minister this morning, and I want you guys to listen keenly. So tell a friend and tell a relative what the Prime Minister says. So listen to this, my people.
I will be asking Mocha to do a sampling for fraud in the recovery grants. In other words, we have to check that if you got a grant, that you actually use it for the purpose you got the grant for, and that you're not defrauding the government. Taking the grant, say you're going to do something with it, and you're going to do something else. That's not fair, because somebody else who actually needed it could have gotten that grant. So I want to sound the warning clearly that if you get the grant, the portion of the grant that is directed at your roof, fix your roof. These are the kind of things that we will be checking on. Now, the way in which we are giving the grants now, it might not be so easy to do that, because the grants are restricted as to where you can spend them and what you can spend them on. But people can still find their ways, and we will be checking. We cannot be spending $10 billion. That's what we're spending, a lot of money. And we are not seeing the benefit of it in the roofs being restored. Spend it on restoring your roof.
Sound like him oppress poor people though. Yo, from the brother, you're coming up poor. Poor people can't get nothing. And that never gonna say, you know, cause all who have money and fix back their roof, you know, and after that, them still go sign up for the money when time them could have allow somebody else to get it. You know. I don't know my people, but few people them they're not kind people. They're not loving people, I don't believe. You know, we are loving to others but not to ourselves. You know, we don't love with our fellow countrymen, but should a foreigner come in, a foreigner would feel the love, you know. A foreigner would come in and say, Jamaica is so kind and nice, but you know, that born and grow there, they not show you no love. I.e., Mark Golden, who is a foreigner, you know, Jamaican people love him, but they want dash with Andrew Holness because Andrew Holness born and grow at Jamaica. You know, it has been like this for generations. By the way, let me just roll out some morning shout out. Jai, big up yourself. Sharon, big up yourself. Caroline Clark, Caroline Bernard, Maro, Hyacinth, good morning. So, let us move to our video, our audio this morning, my people. Now listen to this.
This is the story of Air Jamaica, an airline that charmed the world but failed financially for decades. In this video, we're diving deep into the fascinating story of Air Jamaica, the airline that once symbolized national pride but ended up as a financial burden. You'll discover how a series of missteps, bad timing, and external shocks turned a dream into a cautionary tale. Stay until the end, because the truth behind its collapse is far more complicated and revealing than most Jamaicans are willing to admit. Air Jamaica was born in 1968, a period of optimism and hope.
Which year Air Jamaica born? Which year Air Jamaica born? I'm safe for now, listen. Which year was Air Jamaica born? You talk to me now. Dahlia, you're cool. Go ahead, you're too nasty. Enough people down in Jamaica don't want to be there now, you know. Because you look a cold front out there and go be there on the nasty. Go ahead. So, Warrell, big up yourself. Carol James, big up yourself. Who else is here? Dahlia, big up yourself. June, Godchild, big up yourself. Good morning. So 1968 it was born. I think it took its first flight 1969. So Air Jamaica was built by a Jamaica Labour Party government. See? So no wonder it was not taken care of because it was not theirs, my people. So that's why.
Optimism and hope for the newly independent nation. Its maiden flight took off on April 1st, 1969, marking the start of an ambitious venture, connecting Jamaica not just to the Caribbean, but to North America and beyond. For decades, the airline carried more than passengers. It carried the spirit of Jamaica itself. The colourful Lovebird livery, combined with warm, reggae-infused hospitality, made Air Jamaica more than an airline. It was a flying ambassador for the nation. Yet, behind the smiling flight attendants and festive branding, Air Jamaica faced a persistent problem. It was losing money. Year after year, decade after decade, the airline struggled with inefficiencies, rising operational costs, and an unsustainable business model. By the late 1990s, the financial strain was undeniable. Despite modernization attempts and temporary privatization efforts, the losses mounted. Government bailouts became routine, and every plan to revive the airline ran into roadblocks, both local and global. Eventually, these pressures forced the Jamaican government to sell the airline, a move that would reshape Caribbean aviation forever. But what really went wrong? And could it have been avoided? To fully understand Air Jamaica's journey, we can break the story into three acts: the prolonged struggles, the controversial sale and transition, and the aftermath, where even the best efforts to save it proved insufficient. Air Jamaica's financial difficulties were both persistent and severe. By March 2010, the airline had recorded losses in 40 of its 42 years of operation, accumulating a deficit of roughly $1.54 billion. That's a staggering figure for a small island nation trying to maintain its national pride in the skies. After the government regained full control in 2004, annual losses were estimated at around $170 million. These figures alone reveal the depth of the problem. But the numbers only tell part of the story. In 1994, a bold privatization effort took place when the Air Jamaica Acquisition Group, AJAG, took majority control.
Can anybody tell me who owned AJAG? Who ran AJAG? Good morning, Karine. Good morning to my beautiful mother-in-law. Good morning, Mummy. Can anybody tell me who owned AJAG, my people?
Their mission was ambitious: modernize the fleet, enhance marketing, introduce luxurious services, and revive the glamour of flying the Jamaican way. The airline experimented with innovations like champagne flights and onboard chefs, trying to recreate the golden age of aviation while staying true to Jamaican culture. However, external challenges struck hard. Aviation authorities imposed Category 2 restrictions, limiting operational freedom and grounding newer aircraft like the Airbus fleet. The aftermath of 9/11, rising fuel costs and higher maintenance expenses further squeezed already thin margins. Even with improved scheduling and upgraded services, the airline's core business model remained fundamentally unprofitable. By 2004, AJAG bowed out and full control returned to the Jamaican government. Efforts to modernize and market the airline could not overcome structural inefficiencies and global headwinds. Despite all the creativity and investment, Air Jamaica's dream became a financial burden. Yet, as dire as the situation was, the story was far from over. A crucial turning point was approaching, one that would ultimately seal the airline's fate. By 2007, political leaders were seriously considering selling or restructuring the airline.
So was it Bush Stewart that owned AJAG, my people? Anybody know? Can anybody confirm or deny if it was Bush Stewart who owned AJAG? And also, can anybody tell me when did the Jamaica Labour Party, which month in 2007, that the Jamaica Labour Party won the general election? Can anybody confirm that date?
Potential buyers were approached, including talks with a US-based airline, but none materialized.
Oh yes, June, who is one of our listeners, my people, she is selling chicken at $350 a pound. I think she's in Manchester somewhere. You're in Christiana, June. So anybody in that area that want chicken, June is selling chicken wholesale. So link up June. You know. Donald, big up yourself. Narma, big up yourself. Good morning.
The challenge was clear. Air Jamaica's debts were massive, and its operational inefficiencies were deeply entrenched. Finally, in 2010, a deal was struck with Caribbean Airlines.
So, if in Poros, she's in Poros, people. So if you're in a Poros and you want chicken wholesale, link up June. See? So if AJAG took on Air Jamaica in 1994, because when the PNP tells the story, of how Air Jamaica met its demise, right? They said that Edward Seaga gave Air Jamaica to Bush Stewart. Now, if it is Bush Stewart that owned or part owned AJAG, and AJAG took on Air Jamaica in 1994, can anybody tell me which political party was the party in power in 1994? Can anybody confirm or deny what party was in power in 1994 when AJAG took on Air Jamaica? Can anybody tell me?
Acquisition included Air Jamaica's fleet, routes, and intellectual goodwill. On May 1st, 2010, Caribbean Airlines began operating under a transition agreement, honouring all existing tickets and
another thing I want to point out, sorry if you have to pause the audio, I know we annoy some people, but we do running commentary, running analysis. So when we hear something, we have to stop and break it down. So if we won the election in September 2007, and in this audio it says by 2007, the government was already in talks to sell the airline. However, the airline never gets sold till 2010. We were in government then, but the sale of it started in 2007 before we won the election, my people. So by that time, all of the deals had already been struck. We could have not done anything about it. It took that long for whatever reason, because we went in a recession probably a year later or some months later, so the sale of it took years, but it was started under the PNP. It is the PNP that sold Air Jamaica, not Bruce Golding. Bruce Golding could not have done anything. It was already in the works, my people. See?
in return, the Jamaican government received a 16% stake in the carrier, valued at roughly $30 million. The arrangement was marketed as one airline, two brands, designed to allow a gradual...
I got Jones' number, by the way, my people. So if you don't want chicken, just link me and I will give you Jones' number. See? So if you have the channel number, send me a WhatsApp or just send me a message under any one of the video them. I will see it and I'll get back to you. See?
Integration while maintaining Air Jamaica's identity. Boeing 737-800 aircraft became the backbone of the merged operations. In January 2011, the airline even launched a new livery featuring both the Jamaican and Trinbagonian flags, a symbolic attempt at renewal and unity. At first glance, it's...
So, again, I want to point out that under the Bruce Golding-led government, even then, the airline was not sold. It was in partnership, where Jamaica would collect 30%, I believe, of all earnings. See? So we continue to listen.
Seemed like a lifeline. But deep beneath the surface, the structural challenges that had plagued Air Jamaica for decades were far from resolved. The airline's fate was still uncertain, and the coming years would test whether national pride could truly overcome business reality. Despite the merger, Air Jamaica's revival was short-lived. Passenger growth from key Jamaican airports stagnated, and over time, Caribbean Airlines gradually reduced former Air Jamaica services. By 2015, the Air Jamaica brand was officially retired, leaving Caribbean Airlines as the sole operator. Why did this happen?
So maybe just take a pause to break that down. So, the Bruce Golding government, they managed to, have a partnership with Caribbean Airlines, which we would get 30% of all earnings. And the airline was let go in 2015. So, can anybody tell me who was the government in 2015 that completely let go of the airline? Because they were not innovative. They could not innovate. They could not, find somebody to look after the airline, basically. Also, the Jamaican passport, because of the crime and violence and all of the drugs that was in the country, the Jamaican passport could not carry you to a lot of places in the world. So a lot of Jamaicans was not traveling like they are today. See? So therefore, Air Jamaica could not get the ticket sales from people. So that was one of the big factors why it kept losing money, because it could not keep up with ticket sales, right? Because a lot of Jamaicans was not traveling. We could not get any visas. We could not go anywhere. Enough of we couldn't. How we are getting our mass now, and whole heap of Jamaicans are traveling now, and we can travel to 192 countries now. We could not do it back then. So that was a big reason why the airline failed.
Why did this happen? The reasons were multifaceted. Economic challenges persisted across the Caribbean, the fleet was limited, and maintaining a dual brand strategy proved financially impossible. Some analysts argue that Air Jamaica might have survived under different circumstances. Avoiding external shocks like Category 2 restrictions, post-9/11 industry changes, and surging fuel costs could have made a difference. More aggressive pivots toward a low-cost or hybrid model.
Can anybody tell me what a Category 2 restriction is? Does anybody know? Can anybody tell me?
Rather than clinging to a full-service identity, might have helped. Stronger regional coordination, strategic route planning, and scalable operations could have improved sustainability. Yet, by the time Caribbean Airlines acquired the airline, Air Jamaica had become a chronic financial drain. The sale was less about saving a national icon and more about halting future losses. In reality, Air Jamaica's demise was not caused by a single mistake, scandal, or poor CEO. Its downfall was baked into the economics of operating an airline from a small island with limited population, thinly travelled routes, and high operating costs. Here's the part that shocks most. Air Jamaica lost money in 40 out of 42 years. Despite the vibrant liveries, reggae-themed flights, flying chefs, and dreams of Caribbean glamour, the economic realities could not be ignored. Running an airline is a high-risk endeavour, and for a small nation like Jamaica, scale and efficiency matter as much as national pride. The sale that shook aviation was more than a merger. It was a concession to reality. Air Jamaica's closure illustrates a hard truth. Heritage, nostalgia, and national identity are not enough to sustain an airline. Its story shows the limits of pride when economic fundamentals are ignored. By the time the brand was retired, it wasn't just a symbol of what had been lost. It was a cautionary tale for small nations attempting to operate full-service airlines without sufficient scale or financial resilience. Could Air Jamaica have been saved? Some believe the airline might have survived, but only under radically different conditions. Avoiding global shocks, rethinking the business model to a leaner, more flexible operation, and pursuing regional partnerships more aggressively could have helped. But such interventions would have required foresight, timing, and sometimes a willingness to compromise on cultural identity for financial survival. A tough trade-off for any national airline. Instead, what we saw was the repeated pattern of ambitious plans, partial privatization efforts, and government bailouts, all of which ultimately fell short. Air Jamaica became a cautionary tale illustrating the limits of ambition when confronted by structural realities. Even as Caribbean Airlines took over operations, the story of Air Jamaica continued to resonate. For many Jamaicans, the airline was more than a business. It was a symbol of connection, identity, and pride. Its loss left a hole in the national consciousness, demonstrating that not every dream can withstand the pressures of reality, no matter how much love and heritage are poured into it. Air Jamaica's story highlights a universal principle. Even deeply loved brands or institutions cannot survive without sound economics. Cultural pride can inspire and uplift, but it cannot pay salaries, maintain fleets, or absorb losses indefinitely. For small nations, sustainability requires discipline, adaptability, and sometimes painful strategic choices. Heritage and culture are invaluable, but without financial viability, they are not enough to keep an airline in the sky. The rise and fall of Air Jamaica is both tragic and instructive. It teaches us that financial planning, operational efficiency, and regional coordination are critical for success, even when national pride and nostalgia are involved. For Jamaica, air. Jamaica was a symbol of what could have been, but also a reminder of what is necessary to survive in a competitive, high-risk industry like aviation. Its colourful history, charismatic flights, and cultural significance are remembered fondly, but the economics were unrelenting. The closure was not a scandal or a sudden misstep. It was a predictable outcome of a model that could not sustain itself. If this story
So, how much did Bruce Golden receive as the alleged kickback? Gene Williams said. So, in 1994, the PNP would have put Air Jamaica into private ownership. That did not work. The people them did lose money, so them gave it back to the government. You know, had the PNP sought to grow Jamaica and try to fix the security problem that we were having in Jamaica. You know, in 1972, when Michael Manley took over the country, you know, that is when the airline accrued most of its heavy losses, because Michael Manley ran away some 500,000 Jamaicans. And we are talking about Jamaicans with money, we wouldn't take the flight them. They have family in Miami, they have family in New York, they have family in London, they have family in Canada. These are the people that would have taken these planes. And Michael Manley run out every single God Almighty one of them out of the country. See, when Edward Seaga came back, probably 180,000 returned. Vast majority of persons did not return. You know, people actually died outside of Jamaica. Jamaicans died outside of Jamaica because they made an oath that they would never come back to Jamaica because of the persecution they faced under Michael Manley's government. So Michael Manley is the reason why this airline never grew. See, in the 1970s. Edward Seaga did what he could to try to bring back some semblance of normalcy in the 80s. It worked to a certain extent, but you know, it did not come back to capacity. During the 1990s now, you know, the crime situation would have gotten out of hand. People are stay away from Jamaica from the 70s. You know, people are stay away from Jamaica in the 80s because, you know, the 1980 political war. People left in their jobs in the 1990s. So, I'm here talk about people with money. And because in the 1990s, you know, murder started getting out of control. So, tourists are stay away. America tell them people say don't travel to Jamaica. Canada tell them people say don't travel to Jamaica. England tell them people say don't travel to Jamaica. What the government should have done, you know, is try to fix the security problem, pump some money into the security problem. And that would have brought back tourists. That would have brought back home the Jamaicans. That got, as much as enough we love foreign, as much as enough we love foreign, we would have gone home tomorrow if everything was all right in Jamaica. Things is starting to be, and a lot of us are going to return in short order. But this failure of this airline is mostly down to the PNP. They're the one who gave it to private ownership and had to take it back. When Bruce Golding won in September 2007, the PNP was already in the process of divesting the airline anyway. So Bruce Golding had to honor that contract. Bruce Golding couldn't say, all right, Uno didn't deal with the government, but me a government now, me a go dash out the deal. That is bad practice for a government. See? So, because Trinidad is a country that usually help Jamaica anyway, back in the time when we were in our struggles, we could sometimes depends on Trinidad. So Trinidad decided to help out here Jamaica at the time, and they wanted to partner with us. It would have been a 70-30 split. See? And from that 30%, Jamaica would be getting like something like 31 million US dollars from that. However, they were still operating out of Jamaica, Air Jamaica, but nobody non travel. People couldn't get no visa. God bless it too. Look at people who get visa, and the airline was not making any money. See? So in 2015, the airline retired in 2015. Not 2010, not 2011, 2015. Air Jamaica came out of service in 2015. The PNP won the election in 2011. They were there 12, 13, 14, 15, and one look report at 16. See? They are the ones who sold and dismantled Air Jamaica. Now, can Air Jamaica be revived, my people? That is the big question. Can Air Jamaica be revived? Now, if you look at Air Jamaica as a business model today, it is very possible for us to see the return of Air Jamaica. Good morning to my beautiful wife. Good morning, baby. Preston, big up yourself. Keisha, big up yourself. Dwight, big up yourself. Alvin, big up yourself. Horace, big up yourself. Tommy, K. Clark, big up yourself. Jean, Ran Harry, big up yourself. D. Craig, big up yourself. Talk about it with Dennis, big up yourself. Arnold, Patrick Brown, big up yourself. Beverly Lewis, big up yourself. June, big up yourself. See? Now, can Air Jamaica be revived in today's Jamaica? Now, the government is laying the groundwork for it, my people. I know a lot of persons don't see it, but they are laying the groundworks for it. How are they laying the groundworks for it? And this very live, I would have shown you guys where a new airport, international airport, is going to be built in Westmoreland. Would have seen the opening of the Ian Fleming International Airport, expansion at Sangsters, and expansion at Palisados, Norman Manley Airport. Now, that tells you that the capacity is there. People are traveling. We are seeing 4 million odd, 5 million odd, 6 million odd people eventually will be coming. And we are talking about tourists. People are coming from Spain, Germany. And we are talking about direct flight now. See? People still are coming from UK. People have been coming from UK. People are coming from Canada, America. People start coming from Argentina, Guatemala, all of these places. See? So that tells you, big up Ramicon, big up yourself. See? That tells you that the capacity is there. Now imagine we can have Air Jamaica that is going to fly to Spain, fly to Argentina, fly to England again, Canada. I know we have a better security problem. Fly to Africa. There are flights coming from Rwanda now, from Ghana. I mean, I talk about direct flights, my people. Ed Bartlett is doing a brilliant job. And if they're building a fourth airport, that tells you that the capacity is there, my people. And if the capacity is there, people are traveling. Jamaicans are traveling. You know, as a Jamaican, can take up your passport, pay 160,000 or 70,000. You can go to Panama. You can go somewhere in South America. You know, Canada give Jamaicans visa in its droves now. The whole heap of people get visa for go to Canada. You can now go to Germany. You can go to Turkey. You can go to Philippines. You know, whole heap of place I can go now on the Jamaican passport, my people. See? 192 countries. So people can just take up them passport and say, boy, I'm going to book one holiday. And we are starting to see the country getting financially better. So if the country is getting financially better, people will have money where they can vacation outside of Jamaica as well. While people want to come in Jamaica, us the Jamaicans, we can vacation outside of Jamaica. And it would be nice to take our own national airline. So when the airline does come back though, my people, I believe they should take the orange stripe out of it and add green there. The PNP is a workless bunch and then an ambition. And every single part in a government and every single time we trust them with power, we see then do something other than what they're supposed to do, my people. So when the new airline comes back, because it will, I am confident that it will, my people. See? So when Air Jamaica comes back, it must come back in a public-private capacity though. The government must never take full responsibility of it again. You know, it must have private interests, because anything that is run by a government, you find government put them family there, then put them people there. People that is not qualified, you know, because you are a PNP, you are placed there even though you're not qualified for do your job, and them something that run down things. See? So when the airline come back, because it will, we must, I don't know if you don't agree with me or not. Some people might like the original with the orange stripe. I believe them for left yellow, take out the orange, left blue on the tail, left blue stripe on the bottom, and put green in there. See? And left look a pink part too, and put green now. The PNP must never be. You know, I know it color not represent PNP, but because of PNP, if you take out it, because they have no ambition, them are the reason why we don't have the airline today. Started from Michael Manley and it finished under Portia Simpson Miller. See? The demise of it started under Michael Manley, and the absolute obliteration of it happened under Portia Simpson Miller. See? So they are the ones who tear down Air Jamaica, not Bruce Golding, because when you listen to the PNP, then tell us Edward Seager gave the airline to Bush Stewart. He didn't. Bush Stewart took over the airline in 1994. The PNP was in government at that time. See? So it is them that gave it to Bush Stewart. Bush Stewart couldn't rescue it, and it was hemorrhaging money. So Bush Stewart had to relinquish it back to the government. See? Now, had they agreed that, all right, cool, the government is going to finance part of it, and, you know, we're going to try and forget about the long haul flights for now. You know, let us see if we can find some route where I go somewhere in South America, somewhere Africa. See? So, and all of the Caribbean country them. Had they done that, my people, you know, maybe we could have, you know, we could have condensed down the thing, get rid of some of the bigger plane them, and we just continue to fly as on short route, and Air Jamaica probably would have still been around right now. You know, Paul Rumber say, you his a big fool. If I hear you say you his a big fool, you know, say, I want big old dirty thing in turbo PNP. We are probably toes that year old. See? So, them people are they not really bad with no sense. The old people, you know, from way back in the idea, they never go to school, my people, so you have to see with them. They're very dunce. See? So, when they hear young people come attack with research, you know, I know me say it, don't hear it and the thing, and it is the PNP that crashed the airline. Started under Michael Manley, because when the airline started in 1968, the first flight took off in 69. See? 70, 71, 72, you know, the airline are go on. It start make a loss, but it are go on. In 72, Michael Manley run away. 3/4 of Jamaicans out of Jamaica. So who did I go take a flight? Who did I go take a flight them? Who did I go take a flight them if 500,000 richest people out of the country gone under Michael Manley? Tell me who did I go take a flight them? And them people they don't use them common sense, they just big and careless and workless and an ambition. Only people was support PNP. Eh? If Michael Manley run with 500,000 richest Jamaican them out of the country, who did I go take Air Jamaica? Somebody tell me. And those are the years that Air Jamaica took its heaviest loss. You know, some of plane in park for months and a fly. See, cause even pilot gone. See, mission accomplished was the headline in one of our major publication where we lost the airline. You can Google it, you know. There was a lot of factors in it. It wasn't only monetary. It wasn't because of the losses alone. You know, we had a security restriction on Air Jamaica as well. You know, the United States saw Air Jamaica planes as a high risk. So did Britain. So because of that, you know, they could not get landing permission in certain European country. So that kind of helped to tear down the airline as well. Plus, it did not take heavy loss because Jamaica was not growing. In the 1990s now, straight up to the early 2000s, pardon, like I said, in the 90s to the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, Jamaica was the crime capital of the world. Nobody never come there. Nobody never come there in the hundreds and thousands and millions like them come today. See? Because we had a security problem. People afraid they come and get shot on the road. So that helped tear down the airline as well. It's plain and simple as that. Paul Rumble. It's plain and simple as that. If you have sense, and go on like you don't have sense too. See? And the federal government was firing the airline the federal government was fining the airline every drug fine too. Exactly. So every time, you know, drugs was found on it got a sanction. And it is the PNP that failed my people to put in security measures. You know, because what you found, a lot of PNP, you know, was smuggling drugs. Labour did do it too, but PNP in their mass. You know, a lot of who we know now as leaders, you know, it has been alleged that some of them were, you know, juggies. And that is how they accrued their billions and millions today. You know, and that is why you see a lot of them want to tear down poor Andrew Holness within $1 million when you have. Yes, and for persons who don't know this, Andrew Holness' entire net worth is just under $1 million as compared to Mark Golding, $31 million. Making Mark Golding a multi-billionaire Jamaican. See? Him don't want to replace with somebody who struggle and reach like the rest of we. Not big and careless and an ambition. And the PNP is not business. Yes, Donna, they are not business savvy. Them only care about them ideology and care about taking care of their people. And once their people is good, to hell with the rest of Jamaica. Because their people can keep them in power. You know, so when time them come in power, them marginalize the labor right, marginalize the regular Jamaicans, them then step out with neck and try to keep we down. And then, you know, when we lose focus, we get complacent, we get frustrated, and we not go participate in the electoral process. While they know how to rally their dunce base, you know, with people with dunce like Paul Rumber, you know. So when they rally dunce them and reel up with dunce them and rile them up and say, "Oh, my leader, Banya, don't stop the progress. Log on to the future and where progress." None of we ain't see it. But them tell us, say, don't stop the progress. And no progress never happen. We not see nothing happen, none at all. But them tell us, say, don't stop the progress. We see here Jamaica lockdown. See? We see free zone lockdown. We see them tear down the financial sector and the banking sector in Jamaica. PNP did that. See? hospital lockdown, clinic lockdown, police station lockdown, fire station lockdown. What else? School even lockdown and a PNP. See? The amount of things we locked down, we lose everything under PNP management. And them tell us, don't stop the progress, log on to the future. Not done, so not big and stupid. Jamaica is now one of, if not the most popular destination. It's a shame the PNP wreck here, Jamaica. That is it, and terrific. You know, they are going to build it back. I am certain of it. I can see the blueprint being laid to bring back here Jamaica. And, you know, I'd love for us to go out there now and explore and find the isle. Mary Dolly, big up yourself. And find the isle. And then we can use the credit money to buy back with fleet. If I ever want 10 or 15, you know, if Air Jamaica come back, I will never fly with no other airline. You know. But when it comes back, my people, you must not focus on the long haul journeys. You know, we know say they say big money there. But think about going to some places where I don't bother buy the biggest set of plane them either. You know, just buy some regular one. We can hold one 50 people per one 60 people. You know, and buy one 4 big one them. So you know, say 2 go America and 2 go up to Europe somewhere. You know, what then can make a stop somewhere. And good morning, Meltina. Who else is here? I don't know if I did heal up here in a Patrick, but big up yourself. You know. There's 150 people here, my people. Now see if you can get me to 80 thumbs up. Double tap the phone screen or hit the 3 dots in the right hand corner of the screen, or just touch the thumbs up button if you can't see it on your screen. So instantly big up yourself. You know, the PNP must never ever be allowed to come back to government in Jamaica. There are a bunch of wolves and vagabonds and them come to tear down the country, and they have tear it down every step of the way they can. And so they come with one big old humpy lumpire with a Humpty Dumpty who sat up on the wall, and he did get a great fall at the last election, but the next one he will get a greater fall. You know, we don't worry about him. While that boy, big up yourself. You know, in reality, my people, in reality, the PNP have worked against the best interests of this nation ever since Michael Manley took government. Every time when you call Michael Manley name, a big old idiot old fool them sense to it. See? Michael Manley no do nothing for no. They no do nothing for we. See? He no secure no future for none of we I look around them. See? Michael Manley was big and careless like every other PNP. See? Dennis, big up yourself. Every single time. Alright, watch this. During the 1960s, Edward Seaga was the person responsible for planning and all of these things in Jamaica. Seeing infrastructure and building resilience in Jamaica. So this airline was conceptualized by Edward Seaga's ministry during the time. See? So everything that Edward Seaga touched, look what happened to it. After Michael Manley destroyed the Jamaican economy, Edward Seaga would come back and he would build back the financial sector in the 80s, build it back to resilience. And when Edward Seaga left government in 89, the Jamaican dollar, although it started to lose strength, it was only 5 Jamaican dollar to 1 United States dollar. See? Now when the PNP came back to government, first thing they did was to peg the dollar to the United States dollar, completely destroy value of $4 dollar. See, completely destroyed. Even when Edward Seaga begged Manley to not do it, then do it, see me. Then start to destroy. You know, when Edward tell them, say, yo, we can't do it the way, yeah, but don't just do it overnight. You have to build resilience in our system first, then gradually do it. No, then do it overnight. Crash the the Jamaican economy. You know why? Because that would have been the legacy of Edward Seaga. See? So, same how they do airline, same how they do NHT, same how they do JOS, the National Housing Ministry, same how they do JOS, everything with Edward Seaga build, then come and then tear it down or then change the name. See? The food stamp program, them tear it down and change the name to part. See? Every single thing that Edward Seaga do, the PNP come and instead of them try to leffy and build money and build resilience in it, them choose to tear it down instead. So then tear down the whole financial system. You know why? Because all of the middle class that Edward Seaga created in the 1980s, poor Jamaicans who worked their way up, people like Meshach and others, those persons who came from nothing and build themselves into an upper middle class community. The PNP not only tear them down, but they actually went after what they own personally. So think about this. You come from out of a ghetto. See? I don't understand how people say PNP love the poor, because think about this. You come from out of a ghetto and you make something of yourself, you and your wife. And the PNP come and not only tear down your business, but then come personally if it tear down your house as well, and then did take some of the people them house, and some of them live in the people them house till today. Does anybody see any similarity in that with Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness? Does anybody see any similarity with what the PNP is trying to do, what they did then in the 90s and now? Because Juliet Holness and Andrew Holness come from Spanish Town and build themselves and build resilience in themselves and made something of themselves and become a upper echelon, then pass the middle class, and they're now at the pinnacle of society. That is why the PNP is trying to tear them down. They did it in the 90s to people who Edward Seaga helped to build, hundreds and hundreds of Jamaicans. See, came from the gutter and made their way up and was employing thousands of people. And the PNP deliberately tear them down. Good morning, Mama Winsome. I feel alright. I'm about to get ready to go to work. Because the hustling don't stop. Family big. We have dreams. We have a whole heap of plans. See? Guys, make sure you watch the ads them. See? Please, watch the ads them. And when the live are posted, if you miss any part of the live, go back and watch over the live. And like the live, my people. We need to get up the numbers. So, like up the live. When you like the live pop up somewhere else so somebody else can watch it. That is what liking the live does. It promotes the program, my people. So because Andrew Holness and Juliet work their way up now, my people, PNP want to tear them down because PNP don't like poor people. Especially if they did poor and turn rich. They hate like a dose of pies because only them up at the top of PNP supposed to have things. You know why? Because when them have things up there, then you have to go up there and beg them. And then they can pit in your face and tap in your face and tap in your throat. I saw them love things. See? So anyway, my people, big up on yourself. Me I go left on you now. Me have to go get ready for go to work. Big up all 147 persons that is here. Please subscribe if you're here for the first time. Big up all 185 persons. We not get the 100 thumbs up this morning, but we get 85. So thank God. Big up on yourself. Big up all 85 of you. And I will soon for tonight's program. See? So me long to have a panelist program. So me go see if me can get two elder them to come in tonight and tell two story. See? So me soon this evening at 7 p.m. this evening, Jamaica time. See? So me soon look more. Big up on yourself. Much love. Shower labor rights.